You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Yep, it's The Breakfast Club. Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. I don't know where the hell Envy snuck off to.
He just had a baby, so, you know, he has a lot of things he has to do regarding his newborn.
Yeah, his butt's still sore. But we got my man Boyd Melson right here on The Breakfast Club. What up, Boyd?
Thank you for having me.
How are you? Now, Boyd,
Thank you. Ow! No, I'm kidding.
tell the people who you are, Boyd.
So my name is Boyd Melson. I'm a captain in the United States Army. I am a mixed baby. Mama is Polish, Jewish. Father's Louisiana Creole. So I got both sides coming on in.
And you from Brooklyn?
And from Brooklyn, absolutely. Living in Brooklyn. I'm not saying where, but I will be running for Congress in 2018, but somewhere within our boroughs.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
I met Charlamagne. We were at the Steve Harvey Youth Mentorship Camp together. I was blown away listening to my man talk. The thing that stuck out to me the most, because I use this often when I speak, there was definitions, find your own definition when it comes to religion.
Yeah.
I went to a
G-O-D, gain your own definition. Yeah.
It's game of definitions. Was that how you?
Gain your own
gain
definition.
your own definition. Yeah. Because I remember I listened to a gentleman who was a rabbi and a PhD in physics before, and he said, my definition for the Big Bang may fall in the same thing for what yours is day one of creation, the Big Bang Theory. Find what works. It's the same thing. Just find those words that represent something of love, a higher power, something we're believing in, but make it your own. And if you live accordingly, then you're living a prosperous life and fruitful and loving those around you. So when you said that, like I preached that to so many people, and that just snagged me in. And I've been, all my friends and stuff like, listen, you have to understand how intelligent Charlamagne is. I don't know if people grasp it if they don't spend enough time.
I'm dumb, man.
Whatever. I don't
know nothing.
So the rest, whatever.
Right.
So the rest. I grew up in Brooklyn. I went to West Point. I'm a captain of the United States Army Reserve. I'm a professional boxer. I have the WBC Junior Middleweight United States title. I'm much fatter right now, so I'm not anywhere by a junior middleweight.
How much do you have to lose?
From this moment,
Yeah.
it'd probably be about 30 pounds to get
Woo,
down to
that's
my
tough.
fighting weight.
And why is your passion, I guess, kids, so to speak?
You know, it's strange. I don't know at what point or what day in my life when I woke up, but at some point I started to realize that I'm no longer the future. It just passed. And it was sad. It was disheartening because I don't want to think I'm getting older, but I think it's an innate circle of life, a rhythm to your existence where you start realizing you have to prepare those underneath you. And I always wanted to offer and give to those younger rising up, but now I just felt this need to have to do this. And almost it's a self-protection, because as we start breaking down, the only people that are going to take care of us are those that are more capable and able-bodied. Some people may be lucky. They'll be 70s and 80s and they haven't broken down. They can still care for themselves. But everything that this world is going to revolve around tomorrow is a function of the people yesterday, how we prepared them. And I grasped that children have that innocence. It's that innocence. There's no race, there's no religion, there's no color, there's no gender. They're just babies. And they're a function of us. Every single child that grows up to be something that may not be that productive in society is our faults.
I agree with that. Like when I see a bunch of like quote unquote no good kids, they always talk about how bad kids are. I'm like, well, that's because we failed them.
You're right.
When we complain about that generation that's under us, that's our fault. I think so.
But who wants to admit that? Who wants to take that on?
Yeah.
And they think and it's not just your own nuclear family. It's not your own babies you made. It's this world. I say if you look around. Did I just cut you off? Were you about to say
No, I was
something?
going to just say I always get disheartened when people say, oh, I'm not going there. Oh, those kids are bad. I'm not
Those
going to that
kids.
neighborhood. And I always feel like, no, that's actually where people need to be, trying to actually create programs for kids.
I'm not going to Chicago. Not yet.
I'm not even just saying Chicago, but in general, I do feel like people just feel like, oh, these are bad kids. I'm not going there. I'm not dealing with that. You can't get me to go there.
Some
But
of
it
these
is
kids
important.
really are bad, though. You heard about the story in North Charleston, South Carolina?
Which one?
17-year-old, 19-year-old on the side of the road. Good Samaritan comes to help him. Then they kill a guy. Like,
There are, but I always try to look at the animal kingdom for everything. And even though we're of a higher intelligence, greater ability for putting together complex thoughts, we're still animals. So I look at the animal kingdoms. In every species, you're going to have certain outliers, but we're talking about the majorities here. You can have a 17 and a 19-year-old, and if they have a chemical imbalance for something, or even if they don't, we just don't know. Maybe their mama died that day. Maybe their mama died and they just got angry at this world. Who knows what happened then? Maybe they found out they were dying that day. There's always more than that moment that we're seeing, that we're experiencing. There's a whole lifetime leading up to that moment. For that one person, we get that snapshot of that moment. But for children, at least as a whole, if you look at it, and they don't, if they're going to turn towards a foul life, it's for survival. what's going to help them feel like they can survive, because children can't protect themselves for the most part throughout the world. It's what's going to make them feel they can survive. So if you're looking at the dope game, or if you're looking at banging for something, nobody wants to be risking their life. It's because they feel protected, and usually because they don't have that man, that leadership at home, providing safety for them. So if you look at the animal kingdom, I mean, you see all the time, they'll show these things of a dog raising a baby cheetah that didn't have parents, because nature just worked itself out, because survival, and it took to it, survival. I think we got it wrong. We're the ones that are supposed to be smarter. Nature seems to understand how to do it the perfect way.
Yeah, and I think leadership has provided a bad example, especially in our community, is because we started celebrating the drug culture, celebrating the gang culture, and you had all of these rich-ass rappers who ain't even living like that no more, promoting it. So these kids just want to be successful. So they're like, well, my favorite rapper's talking about gang banging, let me join the gang. My favorite rapper's talking about selling drugs, let me sell some dope too. My favorite rapper keeps a gun on him and shoots at people, let me do that too.
Charlamagne, I had this brother. Tell me what you think about this. You too, please. Angela, I had a brother at my boxing gym, 60-year-old coach, African-American, and he said, if I ever became president right now, today, the first thing I would do is I would make, he said, and he's from the streets, I'd make rap illegal. And I knew he was going to do, but I wanted to say why. He didn't say hip-hop, he said rap. And I said, why? He said, because I don't know what else to do to get to get my people to stop looking at that as the example.
True.
So I know what he meant, not the extreme of rap.
Because I don't think it's just rap. It's video
It's the music
games,
video.
It's everything. It's movies where you watch those mafia movies and TV series, and it's exciting to people.
Agree. He was shooting from the hip. I'm sorry, I cut you off again.
Rap does have the most influence, though, because those are we see that and they look like us. They're from where we're from. But I wouldn't make it illegal. I just want to make it more positive at times.
I agree with that, and I don't think maybe he didn't mean illegal. He was just trying to be rap because he was frustrated. And it seems to be the older generation, older than us, are grasping. They're most frustrated. I get the free pass in life for how light I am. So I don't have to be exposed, even though I get to hear what people really think, because they don't know. So I'm undercover quite often. You
look like a Curry. You could be a Curry.
I was like a shoe like a Curry. I got called Clay from someone, and I thought he was talking about Cassius. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. He said, no, I'm talking about Clay. I was like, come on, man, give me the other one.
Now, how did you get involved with Steve Harvey's program?
So the Army Reserve made a mini documentary on my life story. My life story is I met a young lady. She became my best friend in the world, and she's paralyzed. She broke her neck when she was 10 years old diving into a 5-foot pool.
Ooh.
Thanks.
And shortly after, our friendship became the most important thing in this world. I promised her I'm never going to give up on helping you walk again. So I decided, I boxed when I was in the amateurs. I boxed for the Army. I was in the alternate field 2008 Olympic team behind Demetrius Andrade. And have a win and a loss against Keith Thurman. That boy can punch.
Yeah.
Out there.
Hold on, when did you beat Keith in amateurs?
And then I lost him in the amateurs, too.
Okay.
Felt like an earthquake in my head.
Got you.
Got hit by that dude. It gave Danny Jacobs a very tough run. I always tell Danny when we talk. So then I stopped, but then I found out about this medical study that a doctor, one of Christopher Reeve's doctors, is trying to bring here to the U.S., where they're going to use umbilical cord stem cells and inject them in the spinal cord. He said, we're trying to get FDA approval, and we also got to raise the funds. The government's not paying for it. So the bells went off, and I said, I promise her, I'm not going to have this victim helplessness. I can affect this. When I was in the amateurs, I used to get interviewed all the time because how I look. Went to West Point, had a master's degree, light skin. Everyone thought I was a coach. So it's stigmas. And I always get interviewed. And I would always talk about Kristen at that time and give her story as an example, trying to provide hope and inspiration to people. So I said, if I can do the same thing as a pro and I can be successful, people are going to want to listen to the story, and I can be on a platform and preach. We need to raise money for this funds. I said, I can lead by example, lead from the front. I had a real good corporate job. If I donate everything I earn in the ring my entire career, then no one can ever dog me for asking them to give $1 anytime I see them. Right. So that's what I chose to do. So the Army found out about this because I'm in the reserve. After I finished my active duty, went in the reserve, had a Fort Totten in Queens. Grew up on Fort Hamilton Army base with all the base heads throwing it out for them. So, and my father's retired military. My sister's retired, is in the military. My brother, my mama was in the U.S. Army. So they decided to make a mini documentary on my story. The Army Reserve did. It won. It's on YouTube. It's 7 minutes, 11 seconds. It will tear you up. It's that background music they played the last 2 minutes. And it won the Department of Defense 2015 Video of the Year. So when they reached out to the Army, Steve has a relationship, Mr. Harvey has a relationship with the Army and the Army Reserve and active duty, trying to provide mentors. They specifically asked, not Steve's camp, but the Army Reserve said, we had this guy we're going to send on down because of the stuff he's done. And I was in a different role. I had the same role, but I was in a different space. I was down there as a mentor, similar to all the other armed forces folks that were down there serving, but my background was different than them. I was coming as a professional athlete with the title, being a co-founder with Kristen Zaccanino of our own nonprofit. I'm on another nonprofit, Stop Soldier Suicide. 22 veterans kill themselves every day coming home from war. And the last one, I know you're going to appreciate this, called Boxer Inc. with my boy Mustafa Abdullah. We go into elementary school, inner city schools using boxing as a mentorship program. BoxerInc.nyc, where we offer leadership guidance and discipline and trying to raise these kids. Most of them are the same target audience that we saw at Steve's camp, and trying to raise them. And if they get caught fighting, they're out of the program. And I think we're in 3 schools already, and we're trying to help this grow. And God willing, I get elected into Congress whenever that day comes, which should hopefully be soon. That's going to be on my agenda.
That's your next level? That's what you want to do next?
That's the plan, absolutely. I got the campaign team that agreed to take me on. They ran the Midwest campaign for President Obama in 2008. They did Pennsylvania from in 2012. Regardless of what you think of President de Blasio, they still got Mayor de Blasio, they got him elected. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand that took over for Hillary Clinton, presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, they got her and some other ones. And I had retired last year when I won my last fight, when I won that title. What I want to do, where I'm running, because they're battling heroin like a beast, specifically in the borough that I want to run for, I want to have one more fight, make it as close to Veterans Day next year. I want to donate whatever I earn, make it a day to celebrate veterans, see if we can get the West Point boxing team to be on the undercard, make it a whole big veteran military thing. I want a hard fight. I'd love to fight Angulo. That would be like my top one for my style. And Angulo or Kirkland. And then donate whatever I earn to help combat heroin there. So I can show them I'm coming in as a Democrat, even though I'm independent, but I'm running as a Democrat. Democrats kind of get a bad rep, more soft, and I got to show them I'm going to be dropping the hammer on certain issues that have nothing to do with, heroin has nothing to do with politics. And it's the young adults and it's the youth that are getting caught up in that. Crime has nothing to do with that. What do you think about that?
Does crime have anything to do with
whether you're Republican or Democrat or anything?
I think crime does have something
how
to
you
do
handle
with it.
I mean, how you deal with your approach to try to solve it. Does it matter if you're Republican or Democrat?
Oh, no. As long as you're trying to solve the issue.
That's
it.
what
No,
I think
absolutely. But I mean, that's the problem with Republicans. They don't usually talk about those issues. They don't talk about issues that happen in the inner city at all. That's why people always talk about why do African Americans gravitate toward the Democratic Party, is because the Democratic Party talks about issues that are directly affecting us. Republican Party don't even mention us at all. Yeah.
I find when you speak to and they're usually Republicans, but not all Republicans, the people that take their time out to complain about issues such as who's marrying who, and issues focusing on, well, they don't follow, the church doesn't preach this. Those are the people that don't have anything else to complain about in life because everything's all right.
Everything's perfect.
Upper class.
Yeah.
They got the bougie little lifestyle going on. They don't have to. They get
like
to handpick.
It's like a judgment type of thing.
Yeah.
And I say this, I say, you find me a mama who's either a staunch Republican or staunch Democrat, and their baby just broke their neck and they're paralyzed. That mama just cares which candidate's going to get their baby walking again, and that's the life experience. And that's exactly what he was preaching at.
As a boxer,
camp.
do you ever get concerned about hurting somebody so bad that maybe they get injured permanently for life?
If I were to sit down and think about it before going on in, I'm thinking about myself getting thumped up before we get on in. Yeah, I always tell my coach, they say it's a little I had a coach named Ron Sims. He said it's like a little psychology test. When you first put the gloves on, there's 2 thoughts. One person's like, man, these are so light. When I touch someone, I'm gonna kill him. Then there's another set of people, man, these are so light. If I get touched, I'm gonna get killed. I'm that dude that thinks, man, if I get touched, I'm gonna get killed. And I tell you can't, cause they're so small, so much smaller than the 16-ounce ones.
And what's the dreaming with eyes open thing?
So my boy Honey works at Fort Hamilton Base. He just launched this thing, and he brought me some gear for y'all. He just shot this to me the other day. So most people wait till they're asleep to dream.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you spend half your life asleep, 12 hours a day, you're still awake for half the time. And that's when you're active. You gotta take this world into your hands while you're aware of what's going on. Don't be afraid to involve yourself. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to invest yourself. Don't be afraid to get tired. Don't be afraid to get fatigued. Chase what you want. So he sent this to me, and I think this is a fly New York logo sitting over here, and that's the top over there. So he just said he's being flown back out by the Cleveland Cavaliers because they loved it. And for this, it's the Cavaliers colors going around. But this is the main color. Obviously, my favorite color, green, Creole green-eyed bandits. So we love this. But that's what it is, dreaming with why. And so he has one in pink for breast cancer. He's going to donate everything to cancer research. And so I just got that humanitarian award. I invited you to come on the other day. And so they have another nonprofit named Yes We Care. So along with they want me to be the spokesperson for PTSD for veterans. They're dealing with cancer and pediatrics for children especially. So I said, this isn't a great that the universe just brought this at this moment so we can partner this on up. Because he said, I need to find some type of cancer organization trying to affect cancer positively so that I can donate this to. And I said, yes, we care. I'm about to be meeting with them next week. This is wonderful.
And you got your own camp, right?
Sure do. Team Fight to Walk. Team Fight to Walk. We got we're gonna have our gala October 13th in New Rochelle. It's our fourth Fighting for the Cure gala. So this clinical trial that we're donating everything to, that one of Christopher Reeve's docs was the advisor for, it was published in American Scientific Journal back in May. The purpose, when doctors review it, they try to discredit it. So if they publish it, that means it actually happened. 15 out of 20 of the people that they injected the umbilical cord cells in China, he did it in China, and he had them walking in a very rigorous physical therapeutic protocol. 15 out of 20 are now walking, can walk up to 10 meters with a walker. One's on a cane, but without anybody helping them. 12 out of 20 got their bladder and bowel back. Mount Sinai Hospital we should have FDA approval for this year's out. It's going to be at Mount Sinai, University of Newark Hospital, and it's going to also be at, what's the last hospital? Long Island Jewish. 9 patients each. 15 out of 20 are walking. I've seen the videos, all with walker. It's not walking like you and me with our gait. Let's get from A to B and getting their bladder and bowel back. So we're having our fourth Fighting for the Cure gala. Kristen Zaccanino, one of my angels on this planet, my best friend, she's the one who's spearheading this. I'm the co-founder. She's the founder, if you ask her. And she always sets me right with that. We had John Starks was our honorary chair last year. He's gonna be coming again.
That's who you look like.
Funny.
I'm like, damn, I'm sitting there. I'm like, who this boy look
Everybody hear this, ready?
So I keep thinking of Curry, but no, John Starks.
So Anthony Mason was one of, and I was with Herb. He came, he told me to say hello to you, please.
Herb Williams?
Yeah, I was just with him yesterday. I was with Anthony Mason, was one of my best brothers, friends on this planet. I was by his bed his last 3 weeks. I missed 3 days at NYU when he was in the ICU. And a week before stuff started going downhill, I got this award from St. Jude's Children's Hospital, the Heart of a Champion Award, and I invited him to come with me. And Starks was one of the people signing autographs. So I remember Starks had took off, and Mace is sitting, he's signing, and I'm sitting, and somebody walks over to me, and they tap me, and I say yes. They go, oh, you were just my favorite basketball player. Please, ladies, would you sign this? And I said, who do you think I am? And she goes, you're John Starks, right? I said, listen, ma'am, I know he's tiny on TV. I said, that brother's 6'3". And so Mace, and then she walks off, and I looked at Mace, and Mace he didn't even look at me. He goes, I thought that from the day I met you. I just didn't want to gas your head up.
How did you get so close with Mace?
So Mace, 2 galas we had to go. Well, first he came to one of my fights in Manhattan. And that was
how long ago was this?
That was in 2011.
Okay.
And I knocked Joker out in 44 seconds. Never happened again as a pro, but it happened. And when I went over to Mace after, I was like, I'm a huge fan. I love being a super fan. I love when I meet the basketball players when I was a little kid. Because I get to be a child again. So I said, Mace, they don't make them like you anymore. You, Zeke, X-Man, you, X-Man, Kevin Willis. Oh, they don't make him. And he's looking at me, he goes, 44 seconds. And I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm just saying 44 seconds. I said, whatever. Was it Barkley, Malone? And then he goes, but is that how we do 44? I said, stop talking about me. I want to talk about you. So fast forward 3 years, he happened to be one of our guests for the gala we had. And the universe brought our energies together. And it happened very, very soon. And I think one of the funniest moments, so I invited him over to my spot, my crib, and we watched when Pacquiao fought Chris Algieri. And they said something, and in a small apartment, he's a big boy. And
big as hell. He looked like he was in 3D. I met him once, God bless the dead, at a comedy show. I'm like, yo, he's like round, like symmetrical. It's crazy looking.
He has an intelligence like the way I describe you.
Yeah.
So when I get nervous about him, I say, you make a man that big and that smart? That's like stuff from the movie 300. You get nervous around. So they said something about Ronda Rousey. He loved Ronda Rousey. And he goes, man, that girl would die would die in that octagon, die fighting. I said, Mace, no fighter, if they actually thought if they kept continuing, they'd die, would keep fighting. World War III broke out. Listen, I'm going to text you this because my boy recorded the thing for 8 minutes. Loud. And I started backing down. He was sitting, so I felt brave because he was sitting, and there was furniture in between us. And I was kind of letting it go, and I was like double dutch, getting in a little bit, but then giving him back. And then he was like, boy, don't try to go verbatim with me. You won't win. And I was like, what? You're going to punk my own apartment? So then I started getting loud, and then finally at the end, and he's real smart, so he'll make everything make sense. Like I said, when Cotto was fighting Margarito, and when they had the face-off, and Margarito goes, I'll die for this, I'll die for this. And Cotto said, what do you mean you'll die for this? You have a family, what are you, dumb? And I said, does that mean Cotto fought any less hard than Margarito? Because he said that, and then Mace goes, man, they were speaking in Spanish. You don't even know what they were saying. And then I said, they had a translator, the words were coming in English. He goes, well, that dude didn't speak Spanish. I said, Mace, you can make anything work. And then Antoine, his son, and Jackie and me over there, my lady over there, we became very, very close. Antoine right now has a verbal to play D-League for Houston next season.
The Rockets?
Yep.
He big as Mace?
He's not. He didn't get the height. He's
Okay.
6 feet 3/4 of an inch. He has a 6'8" span though. I said I wish I had you for boxing. I go up and hold the pads and get his hand skills when I have time. He's 220 pounds. He is so strong, so strong. Like he's playing. They won the Rucker last year. They were playing at this at Brew Cobbs in some summer league. When he drives, I said, see, the problem is he's a shooting guard. He led the league in college basketball in scoring 3 years ago. But his height, so they said you got to play point guard in the league, but that's not his game. I said, little bro, and he said his father said the same thing. I said, you got to be like Westbrook and young D Wade. You got to drive, you got to cradle it, and let those bodies, and you may shorten your career in the league, but that's your game. Because I watch the bodies fly off of you. You're 220. Guys in the league are like 6'9", 220. You're sick, and he has that, but he also has the gene. He's even stronger than he looks.
Did you know Mace was the guy Biggie was talking about, and I got a story to tell?
I know that's what the report is.
He never told you about that?
No, and I don't know. You know what it is? I know how he speaks. So the words that they said he said is not. I'm sure people within your innermost circle, even if you were put in a scenario like that, the way you would talk in that scenario, people would know if it was you or not.
Absolutely.
So that was how I knew this. The words that they said, and we called 20 up, and he said, "I'm not even stressing him." And I said, I texted my 20, his son, Antoine. I said, you know that's not how Pop speaks. So whether that incident went down or not, how it went down, it's not the way he speaks.
Word.
So yeah, I forgot you were gonna bring that up. You set me up through the alley-oop up.
Well, tell them where they can find you, boy, if they want to, contribute to the camp or anything like that.
Please, yeah, absolutely. So teamfighttowalk.com.
Team Fight to Walk.
Every word spelled out. On October 13th, so we're gonna have Paulie from Rocky. He's gonna be coming.
He's alive?
Everyone thinks
he died in the movie. I thought he was gone.
No, man. That's my man. Paulie's coming. What's in Timax and last Bruce Leroy is gonna be coming.
Oh my gosh, the Last Dragon.
Yeah, you had him in the.
Yeah,
I said
yeah, he was up here.
And I don't know if y'all heard, but DJ Envy, Charlamagne, and Angela Yee are all coming this year. We're real excited to make that announcement right now.
All right.
Put it on.
And where is it again?
It's going to be in New Rochelle.
Okay.
It's at Beckwood Point. We're going to have Odessa Turner from the 1990 New York Giants. Lee Rowson should be coming on through, too. Herb is going to be coming.
Okay, Herb Williams.
And what's his name? Steve Baker, touchdown maker.
Okay.
My man, he came to the last one, too. And it's just growing. We'd be so very honored to have you all down there for this.
And what's your Twitter and stuff?
Twitter, Boyd Melson, M as in Mary, and then Instagram's Boyd Melson, and Facebook, Boyd Melson, all Boyd Melson.
And is there an email they can send donations or something?
Absolutely. If you go to teamfighttowalk.com,
Okay.
they got a little donate button there, link.
All right.
And listen, if you know anybody who's paralyzed, my personal email address, and please don't take advantage of this, if you need help, BAM, Boyd Arnold Melson, yes, it's Arnold, Boyd Arnold Melson with an M. Bam! And then the word strong 1981 at Gmail. Please, I will give you guidance and help to the best of my ability. I will respond to you as soon as I can that day. Please send it to me. This is the most important thing in my life, finding this cure, so that, we got 7,000 veterans that came home from 2001 to 2011 who are paralyzed from combat. 7,000.
Wow.
1/3 of the people in this country that are paralyzed are treated at the VA. People don't know these numbers. These are the people that are allowing us to be free and smile and laugh without having to worry about somebody taking that from us every day.
Word. My man, Boyd Melson, man. Thank you for coming, brother.
Guys, thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
I'm so very fortunate and appreciative. I just can't wait to see how this may help change whatever my projection may be moving forward because of this opportunity you gave. You're helping shape this universe for me right now because you opened up your hearts to have me on this studio with you.
Well, we appreciate you for everything that you've been doing also.
That's what I was born for. So that's fine, but thank you. But you can do the greatest thing in the world, and if nobody's sharing the story, it's like that tree falling in the woods. So it's tough. It's how it's painted.
That's real.
And you're helping me.
Absolutely.
And you're helping me help others. And you're helping me help babies. And you're helping me help people paralyzed. You're helping me.
All right.
And that's what I care about, because you're helping me help others. So thank you.
My man, boy, it's the Breakfast Club.
If superior hair extensions, clip-ins, and tape-ins are an absolute must, you have to get the #1 rated hair extensions in the world. Her Imports is 100% certified real virgin human hair and trusted by celebrity stylists worldwide. Celebrities swear by our products, and now you can too. We now offer financing for our products at herimports.com for a limited time, or go into one of our convenient locations in your city. We offer 100% Indian Temple bundles that will have you looking flawless for years. Visit us online right now at herimports.com.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in